أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين أبي القاسم محمد وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم والعن أعدائهم أجمعين. قال الله في محكم كتابه الكريم: أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. فإذا قرأت القرآن فاستعذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. صدق الله العلي العظيم. In our definition of knowledge, we have two types of knowledge. One is what we call urfi, and one what we call ma'rifi. The one that is urfi is the one that we deal with on a daily basis between us. And sometimes we have Islamic issues that we have taken from our parents, or laws we see our parents do or people in the community do, and we do them. These ones are what we call urf. But then we have ma'rifi, and the ma'rifi are the ones that we get from the Quran and from the words of the Al-Bayt salamullahi alayhi. When it comes to isti'adha, and one saying A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir la'inir rajim, sometimes we neglect that ayah. This itself is actually an ayah in the Quran that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala directing me that every time I have to begin the Quran, I have to say A'udhu billah. I have to do that. This is a verse in the Quran. However, we do not do that. Most of the times we begin with Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim and we neglect A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. So therefore we need to say the isti'adha before the basmala. Now according to some Mufassirin, for example as An-Naqshari in his book, he does say that isti'adha is supposed to be after you recite the Quran. Because the Quran says, فَإِذَا قَرَأْتَ الْقُرْآنِ, meaning that if you read the Quran and you finish, then you say isti'adha. That's his opinion, but according to the Ahl-Bayt salamullah alayhim, that we have to start before the isti'adha. Now, what does isti'adha mean? Why do we have to say A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim? According to the ulama of akhlaq, those who deal with ethics, morals and mysticism, they do state that isti'adha falls under three meanings. So it's not just a verbal isti'adha, it's not me saying A'udhu billah and I walk off. It needs to take effect on the outside. They say isti'adha has three levels. One is hissiya, and second is aqliya, and the third qalbiya. Now what do they mean by these three? And obviously because of the time limitation I can't go through them in depth, but we just highlight some of them. When it comes to the hissiya, if one says A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim or A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, he's saying verbally with his tongue. This is what we call hissiya. But then the ulama say this needs to take effect on the outside. One, it needs to be applied when it comes to food. Unfortunately, living in this country is a big problem when it comes to eating the halal food. We take our meat and our chickens and everything that we eat, we consider that meat. We take it from people who say they are Muslims, but do they really apply the Islamic laws when it comes to meat? That's something we can't be certain of. We assume because fiqh says if it's a Muslim then you're okay. But does it really, or is it really being slaughtered the halal way, the right way, the correct way? Have the laws been applied? I can't be certain, no one can unless you see it for yourself. So when it comes to isti'adha, one needs to look at the food that he eats. Because it was narrated that those who eat haram meat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would not accept their fasting or their prayer or their dua for 40 days, which is a big deal in our, if it comes to our applying of Islam. So one needs to take extra care when it comes to the food that he consumes and the food that he gives his children and his family. So this is one form of isti'adah when it comes to the hissiyyah, that you need to look at the food that you eat. Two, they said when it comes to the things that we are allowed to consume, or mubahat, one needs to understand his limitation. Because it is mubah, when you can do it and you can eat it, it does not mean you go overboard. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, كُلُوا وَاشْرَبُوا وَلَا تُسْرِفُوا. There is a limitation to how much we can consume and how much we can eat. If we overeat, for example, then isti'adah goes out of the door. Because what's the point of me saying أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم when I am living the life of the shaitan himself? So it does not work. So one needs to understand that when it comes to isti'adah, it needs to be applied to the things that are allowed. Now, without me going into too much details. Third, when it comes to the isti'adah hissiyyah or al-hissiyyah, one needs to understand that we have doubts, or what we call shubuhat. We need to hit the brakes when it comes to shubuhat. We've been here in this country for a long time. Some of us been here for 20, 25 years, some maybe more. And it was only recently that some videos were going through, WhatsApp and Facebook and stuff like that, that shows that we've been consuming a lot of products when it comes to chips and sneakers and all these sweets that actually contain alcohol or contain pork sustenance. So all this time, for 10, 15 years, we've been eating products that contains haram food, which is pork and alcohol. That itself has a huge impact on the heart of the person. We all know that, and you all know that, when it comes to consuming things, even though if you don't know, then Islam says, well, sure, we're not going to write a sin, you're not going to be judged, but it will take an effect on the heart. The effects will remain. It's like a person drinking a cup of water, and he thinks it's water, but then it turns out to be alcohol. Yes, it's true, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala won't punish him for that, but he will still, the effects of alcohol will take place in his body and in his brain. So when it comes to shubuhat, when it comes to things we are not sure, is it halal or is it haram? Should I eat it? Should I not eat it? Our job is to say no, let me refrain, let me stop, let me choose something else, because if I eat this particular chips, nothing's going to happen to me, my body will live. So my life is not depending on that which is doubtable. So one needs to leave that alone. So these are three things when it comes to al-hiss or al-isti'adah al-hissiyyah. One needs to put into practice the food that he consumes, or when it comes to things of shubuhat, doubts, or when it comes to mubahat, one does not have to exceed his limit when it comes to the things that he eats. When it comes to al-isti'adah al-aqliyyah, the ulama of akhlaq, they also go in details of what it means to say أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم, and it needs to sink in your heart and in your mind first. The Ahlul Bayt Salamullah alayhim, and you've heard most of the hadith when it comes to knowledge. Imam Salamullah alayhi said, I wish the whips was on the heads of my followers so they could learn the deen. ليت السياط على رؤوس قومي لتفقهوا في الدين. So they emphasize on the fact that one needs to learn. So to say أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم, but you do not go and learn, then you're not doing anything. It needs to be applied. One needs to understand what his religion wants. And when it comes to religion itself, and when it comes to understanding religion, we have two parts of religion. One is nadari, by theory, and one is amali. One needs to apply what he learns. And they are very important things, they go hand in hand. One needs to understand his fundamentals, his beliefs, and he needs to understand his wajibat, the compulsory ones, what he should do and what he should not do. When it comes to al-isti'adah al-qalbiyya, and this is the most important one. Because we as Muslims, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not look at our faces, nor does He look at our houses or the clothes that we wear. But in fact, He looks into our hearts. What our hearts consume when it comes to information. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran, He says on the day of judgment He will not accept religion, or He would not accept Islam except from those who come with a pure heart. Maintaining a pure heart is an extremely hard job, especially in this country. Due to the fact that we are surrounded by every haram there is or known to mankind. Wherever you look, there is something that deters you from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The heart, not the organ that we have in our chest, but the heart that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants. He says, لَهُمْ قُلُوبٌ, they have hearts which they do not understand, that no information goes inside. But due to the fact that we are consuming either too much of food which are forbidden, or we are not consuming enough information that makes this heart live. The heart, if we do not give it the right food, the right sustenance, then we are killing it. We kill our heart and we stay away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We make this heart live, and then we go towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So these are three things that we need to take care of and look at and understand thoroughly when it comes to the isti'adha. So because I say A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajeem, it does not mean I just say it and walk off. I have to consider it carefully. I have to say, why do I need to seek refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? We do understand, and with this I conclude, we do understand that the shaitan, in everything he comes in. Everything that we do, he comes in. And according to the Zamakhshari, he has a beautiful saying. He says, when it comes to the Quran and you read the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you a lot of reward for reading it. To say isti'adha, you are protecting what you have gathered when it comes to deed and hasanat from reading the Quran, that the shaitan does not come into play and take whatever you have done. So you safeguard all your hasanat and all of your deed. And all of our life is full of, the shaitan can attack us from any side. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran says he comes from your right, from your left, from your front, and from the back. So four directions the shaitan, or four directions I should say, the shaitan can attack us from. So we need to seek refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not only when it comes to the Quran, but in everything that we do in life, we need to say, A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajeem. والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على محمد وآل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين.